Do you love color, fabric, beads, sparkly things? My boho style technique of making mixed media hoops with collage fabrics, embroidery, and embellishments will indulge all of your wildest creative dreams. You can go wherever your creativity takes you while following a few basic steps. So let's dive in. So let's talk about fabric. As a beginner, I suggest using quilting cotton. I love quilting cotton, even though I'm not a beginner. I use it in most of my projects. There's such a variety out there that you can choose from, and it's easily available. You can find it in your local quilt shop, you can find it at a craft store. There's endless varieties of cotton out there to use for your projects. Here are a few things that you'll find when you're looking for cottons. You have solid, and then you have things like stripes. Lots of busy patterns here and florals. When you're choosing a fabric to use for your background, you do need to be a little careful. This is an element that I've fussy cut for my project. And as I'm looking at all of these fabrics, I need to decide which one's going to look best. If I look at a floral, which I love, and I love working with florals, this one is not a great example of one that I would use. If you look at the colors in the raccoon compared to the colors of the background, they're off. It's not the right reds, it's not the right blues, it just doesn't look right. But if you look at this floral, you have the green that's not an exact match, but it looks really good, and the raccoon stands out. And as you're embroidering, you'll be able to make it stand out even more. Now, if you want to use a busier pattern, even though I love this fabric, it's a bad example because when you lay the raccoon against that fabric, it gets lost. There's so much going on in the background. Even though the colors work and it's the same designer, it just doesn't look right. So you want to look for a pattern, something like this. There's a lot going on in this one too, but the colors are the same. The pattern lets the raccoon stand out more. And then finally you have a stripe, which I think of stripes a little bit like solids. They're very neutral. And a stripe like this, the raccoon looks great. It stands out, the colors match, or you can keep it really simple. If this makes you nervous choosing fabrics, go with a solid. You have a lot of background space here. You can embroider, and he stands out really nice. If you're looking for something a little bit more complicated or detailed, I suggest looking at two fabrics that are the same but different. These are from the same line. It's the same exact pattern in each one. With this hoop project, I took one main fabric, and then you'll see where I have all my little cuts. I cut out flowers that exactly matched the patterns in this background fabric and layered them on top of that. With something like this, all you need are two fabrics in two different colorways to get a really unique project. Again, this doesn't have to be complicated. You're picking fabrics that you like. You're gonna be stitching this for a long time. You wanna look at the fabrics that you love and you want the patterns that you love. Just because I suggested cottons for your first project doesn't mean you can't ever look at other fabrics. Fabrics like this, it's a beautiful color. It's stretchy. I wouldn't use it as your background, but cutting pieces of it could add a beautiful texture to your project. The same with this. It's shiny, it's a metallic stretch fabric, beautiful details. Something like this with a lot of texture, you could cut shapes from it, you could add a lot of detail to your projects this way. And these two, beautiful patterns, beautiful textures, not great for background fabrics, but perfect to add into your embroidery and add texture and colors that you really do like.